Hello everyone, and welcome to another stream of Hugo's Desk. Thank you so much for being here. I hope the chat can let me know if they can hear me correctly, if they can hear me well. I do apologize for the wind coming from my fan. It's really, really warm in London today. So thank you so much for coming. As you already know, we are now establishing a pretty good timeline. Every Mondays, we're always going to play a game while we do some kind of Q&A session, asking for your questions. And then every Thursday, we will continue our nuke compositing workshops. We're currently doing the BBC God Only Knows. So thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to continue Silent Hill 1 for the PlayStation 1. That's the game we're playing. Remember, for those of you that weren't here, we're playing this game here. It's one of my favorite games ever. So this is Silent Hill 1 from Konami for the PlayStation 1. Like I said before, we're not playing it on a PlayStation 1 because the PlayStation 1 has very much random resolutions. It jumps up and down. It has a dynamic resolution through the game. So my capture card doesn't really like it. So we're going to continue playing where we left off last time. And just like, and the chat is all saying hello here. Hi, Kaiser7. Hi, Lenny. Hi, Shioti. Hi, Boris. Hi, everyone. So I'm going to just put a few things out of the way first. First of all, I would like to, of course, thank everyone that has been supporting my channel so much. Can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for that. Hi, Mark, as well. So let me start by giving a few shout-outs for the people that support me lately. I want to thank Citrus for the follow. Thank you so much for that. Graham Studio for the follow. Sirza for the follow. Sebastian43210 for the follow. Nikolai Panic. Thank you so much, Nikolai Panic, for the $20 subscription on Patreon. Thank you so much for that. Hope you're here live. If you're not live, I can't wait to talk to you more on Patreon. Thank you so much for this very generous donation. I would like to also thank Prime 1 for the subscription. Interesting that you're called Prime 1 because you're subscribing as Prime. Thank you so much for the subscription. Also, thanks so much for Amit VFX for the follow. Rohan04RJ for the follow. Scatter for the subscription tier 1. Thank you so much for the subscription, Scatter. Means a lot to me.
More to the left.
And more to the left. And more to the right. And more to the left.
A little bit more to the right.
So thank you so much, Sheen Pang, for the subscription 1 tier. It is your 3-month streak. So now you have a lovely logo. You have a lovely silver logo next to your name. Thank you so much for the subscription. Means a lot to me to have all your wonderful support. Where was I? Thank you so much, Valero, for the $1 pledge on Patreon. Means a lot to me. Thanks so much to Amkartek for the follow. Thanks so much to Real Ana Birano for the follow. Also, Legolas57280. That's a great name, Legolas. Thank you so much for the subscription tier 1.
More to the right.
And more to the left, more to the right. Thank you also so much to Varket for the Twitch Prime subscription. You've been subscribed for 2 months. Thank you so much for this wonderful support to my channel. Can't mean, you don't even know how much this means. Thank you so much for that. And I'm going to just wrap up the last 2 days of followings and subscription by thanking Stan MC for the follow. Also, thanks so much to Taha FX for the subscription tier 1. And also Anne Fortin for the $20 pledge on Patreon. Thank you so much, Anne, for the support on Patreon. So thank you so much, guys. I really feel a lot of love from all of you. Thank you so much for all of this. I'm going to really quickly just let you know that today I published a new video on Hugo's Desk. So if you go to Hugo's Desk, you'll find that there's a brand new video here for you to watch. It's basically a speed compositing inside Nuke with the Vermintide 2 live action trailer shot 60. This video is basically about 2 weeks of compositing condensed to a video of 45 minutes. Don't forget that you can slow down the video. So if you don't like the speed of it on YouTube, you can always slow down because, of course, this is a time lapse, so it's a bit hard to follow. So you should definitely check it out, the video. I'm going to post it on the chat here so that you can kind of like watch it later. So I'm gonna just like post it on the chat. Just give me a second here. Need to move my mouse here. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hopefully you get it there. So that's the video that I'm talking about. Also, don't forget that if you want to get the scripts from some of my workshops, also if you want to vote on my videos, and if you want to support my channel so that I can continue making more, you know, you can support me on Patreon. By supporting me on Patreon, this allows you to get the scripts from my workshops, you know, you get exclusive videos, you get the replays of Twitch, and you get to talk to us on the private Discords as well. So there's all sorts of new things here. Xiaopeng, thank you so much for the kind words. I'm glad that you liked the video. So if you guys want to do an extra step of actually supporting the channel even more, don't forget the Patreon. And if you want to check out whenever we're doing streams, just follow me on Hugo's Desk at Twitter. I always post when the next stream is, but don't forget that now we're streaming every Monday and Thursday. Just like the name says here, every Monday and Thursday, that's when we're streaming. Mondays, it's Q&A time. Thursday, it's workshop time. So don't forget to bring your questions, you know. So if you have questions during the week, just put them on the little piece of paper, and then maybe you can contact me during the Monday stream. Also, if you want to follow me personally, you can also follow Hugo C. Guerre on Twitter as well. So all these I have two Twitters, I know, it's a bit silly, but I do have one Twitter for my personal things, and I have one Twitter for Hugo's Desk. And it's always good to use these Twitters because then you can kind of like check when it's the latest stream that I'm making, you know. Otherwise you might not know. But I'm always going to try to do it on Mondays and Thursdays. Studio 10 is asking me what type of Mac do I have. So I have a Mac Pro. Well, I have several Mac Pros. But so if you want to know a bit more about my Studio 10, there's a video on my channel about this. I currently have 3 Mac Pro 2012s, and then my main machine is a Mac Pro 2013, the one that everyone calls the trash bin. But so those are my machines. I always use more than one machine. So if you want to check the way that I operate in my channel, you can just go in here. If you watch, let's see here, this one here. So if you watch this video, I'm gonna just post it here on the chat for you to see, and so that's the video that you should look. So Studio 10. If you watch that video, you can kind of see what type of setup I have. Like I said, I have multiple Mac Pros, including the trash bin, which is this one here. I'll just post it on here. So that's my main machine, the trash bin with 12 cores. This is not up to date anymore. I don't have 64 gigs of RAM anymore. Now I have 128. So if you look in here in the corner, I have 128 gigs of RAM currently on this Mac Pro, the 360 trash bin, the Mac Pro 6.1 trash bin. And then I also have 3 extra Mac Pros 2012s. And these have 128 gigs of RAM and 12 cores each of them. So they are also my standard like backup machine and my machines to do other things as well. Looking forward to the mug. Yes, that's actually a good. That's a good point that you make there, Lenny. Actually, I'm about to actually do some T-shirts and some mugs. So for those of you who don't know, Lenny's referring to this mug here. So this is the mug that I have here, which is called "You Just Have to Be Better" with my name. So I'm gonna have T-shirts for Hugo's Desk, and I'm gonna have mugs very soon. I'm just working out where to do them. You know, I want to do them on a place that doesn't make them very expensive. That's kind of what I'm trying to achieve there. But anyway, I just wanted to like give you all these rundowns. Let's just get on with the business of the day. So first of all, you guys already know how this works. We're gonna play Silent Hill 1, my favorite ever game. I mean, it's difficult to tell me if it's my favorite game. I mean, I have a lot of favorite games, but this is one of my favorite games, for sure. So we'll be playing this game. if you guys don't know about this game, you should definitely check it out. It's an amazing game. Unfortunately, you can't play it on the new machines. You have to play it either on a PS2, a PS1, or a PS3, or a Vita, or a PSP. It does not run on the PS4, unfortunately. Studio 10 is asking, thank you. Do you need any special graphic cards for Macs, or they are the same? It's the same. So I basically Studio 10. I use a Quadro card on my Mac Pros on the towers. I use a Quadro P5000. That's the one I use. So that's actually it's a relevant question. So I'm gonna just jump into here. So the main graphic cards I have on my big machines is this one here. So that's the Quadro P5000. I have two of these. They are very powerful. Let me just go in here to Nvidia's website. And so I think they have 16 gigs of RAM. That's the one I have. Let's just see here. So it's this one here. So basically this is a card with 2560 CUDA cores. It has 16 gigs of RAM, 8.9 teraflops. So this is a card. I have two of these inside my Mac Pros, the Tower Mac Pros. Then of course the Mac Pro 6.1 has internal cards. They are the D700s from AMD. They're all professional cards. So all these cards are basically professional cards, so they can run 10-bit in professional applications as well. So that I hope that helped. Well. We still, Lenny is asking, we still don't know exactly what's going on, but the game seems amazing. Yeah, Silent Hill 1 it has several endings as well, Lenny. So this game has, I believe, 4 endings, or maybe 5, I can't remember. So to answer Kaiser 7's question about the Quadro and RTX, well, an RTX is a consumer card for gaming. So it's a card specialized for doing gaming. A Quadro card is a professional card. You can't really do as much gaming as you would do on an RTX. And a Quadro card has the advantage of having more stability for professional applications. It also runs 10-bit on OpenGL, which is not possible on the regular gaming cards. And there's also special drivers for 3D Studio Max. There's special support for OpenGL. So the Quadro cards tend to be the cards that you would use in a professional company. But having said this, there are Quadro cards that actually run RTX. So currently the new cards, which are, for example, this one, the Quadro RTX 6000. So this is actually a Quadro, a professional card, that has, sorry, I'm not showing my screen. So this card here is a Quadro card, but also has RTX technology. That means that you can have the Quadro technology, like the 10-bit OpenGL, but at the same time, you can also run ray tracing games. So that's kind of the advantage of having this. But these cards are really expensive, by the way. So I would not advise you to buy the 6000. Maybe buy, maybe buy the 4000. That probably would be the best way. But if you want to know a bit more about this, you can go in here to this website. Just gonna put it on the chat here, and then we'll do it. So you guys already know how this goes. Please keep the questions coming. So the whole idea of this is a Q&A. The Q&A is about visual effects. The idea would be that we're going to talk about visual effects. We're going to talk about showreels. We're going to talk about anything you would like in terms of visual effects. The only thing I ask you is that you just be a bit patient because, of course, obviously I'm playing a video game. And so playing a video game while answering your questions might take a bit of time, But yeah, let's just get on with the game. So I'm going to continue where we left off. So I'm going to just basically press continue, Silent Hill. And as far as I remember that we were inside the infirmary. We played for like about 2 hours last time. Wonderful animation, as you can see. So we need to see where we're going to go. So don't forget, keep the questions coming. And I'm gonna just like see if I can. Sorry, just a second. Oh, sorry. I need to like activate my my controller, because for some reason my controller is not on digital. Let me just change this to analog mode, because it wasn't really doing that. Not smoothing. No. Yeah, that should do. Okay, cool. Sorry, need to activate the light again. Where's the light? Sorry, yeah, there you go. So I'm going to just see what else we have here. Let's see. If I remember correctly, I think I've covered this room already, so I don't think we have much more to cover on this room. I'm also kind of, I have my little swing here. If I need to hit someone, just look at that beautiful flare. So so Boris is asking me, can we talk about some folder structure? Let me just bring up the chat here in front. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, Boris, what specifically do you want to talk about? There's so much to talk about on that topic. That's a really big topic. So what would you like to know? Would you like to know how I work? Would you like to know if you should do a folder structure? What's kind of like, do you have like a specific question around that? Why don't you like try to get that question a bit more, you know, so that I know how I can respond to you. Because I can show you my folder structure. I do have videos about that already, but I guess I could always like answer by showing you the thing. But
more to the left? No, a little bit more to the right.
maybe
a little bit more to the right.
Develop a bit more your question. Anyway, at the moment I know. Okay, I went to the infirmary. That's already done. Reception is already done. So I'm gonna just like see if I can find. See, first of all, I'm gonna see if I can open this door. Probably not. Of course not. Why would we be able to open that door? So, amazing sound effects, as you can see. I'm gonna try this door here. Locked as well. Of course, obviously, this is back in the day where the second stick wouldn't do anything. So, of course, I can't really rotate the camera. I kind of have to, like, use the camera that I have. So, I'm pretty much locked here. As you can see, I can't really go anywhere. I have to go to the clock tower. So yeah, while I'm waiting for Boris to answer that question, basically, Black J 3015 is asking if you should use Intel, Nvidia, or AMD. He promises that he's not trolling. Okay. I think I mean, I don't know, man. It's a bit. I know people get really obsessed with technology, and I understand that. I'm a technology guy as well. Uh-oh. Okay, this doesn't sound good. You can hear the radio, so there's probably someone coming close to me. I probably have to kill. Wait, there we go. Oh, look at this guy. Ah, god damn it. Just die already. So let me just kill this guy and then answer your question. I guess he's gonna die anytime soon. There we go. Now he's dead. Okay, so answer your question. I kind of like think that AMD is really doing a lot of really good things. It is. But don't be too obsessed about technology. What I mean with this, and by the way, guys, if you think the music is too loud, let me know. The tower door is locked. Okay, I can't really get in here. I guess okay, the hands have stopped at 10 o'clock. I'm sure this cryptic clue is gonna mean something at some point in the game. The game is filled with cryptic tales, you know. So, to answer your question about the Intel AMD conundrum, don't really be too upset about technology. These days, AMD and Intel are very close to each other, and so if you think about it, Intel is usually more expensive. AMD is a bit cheaper. I would probably, if you're a student or if you're someone that are trying to make like a more budget rig, I probably would go with the AMD, because AMD has very good CPUs at the moment with really good speeds and really good core as well. So I probably would go with AMD at the moment. But having said that, all my machines on my house are Intel. But that's because I bought them years ago, and back then, you know, Intel was much more powerful. But at the end of the day, you should really look at this from this perspective. I'm just lowering the sound here. Always try to buy the the best cost-effective thing. So if you can find an AMD CPU which is cheaper, you should always try to do that. Okay, just keep that in mind when you're doing. So yeah, but yeah, it's right. The Ryzen 9 9000X is really important. But please, and this is an advice for everyone. Everyone here, I'm just gonna pause this because the music was driving me nuts. This is an advice for everyone. Don't really get too stuck about should I get Intel or should I get Nvidia or should I get AMD. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as you have a computer that works. Any artist can do any good work on a good machine, a good enough machine. I've seen people do amazing work in machines that are 10 years old. I've seen people make amazing work with old Mac machines, with old Linux boxes. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to have the latest. And in fact, you're going to be surprised when you get into a company, a visual effects company. A lot of times, people don't actually, like artists don't really have very advanced machines because companies usually have to buy hundreds of machines. And so a lot of times they buy machines every 5 years. And obviously you know that 5 years is a long time. Machines change a lot in 5 years. So keep that in mind that you don't need to have the latest gear. You just have to be a good artist. That's the most important thing. So keep that in mind. I really want to emphasize this. People should leave this war of technology behind because it doesn't make any difference. Even, like, keep in mind this thing, for example. You see the work that I do, all these game cinematics, AAA game cinematics, and I do all these trailers and all these really advanced compositing trailers and films. I have a machine that is now 6 years old. The Mac Pro 6.1 is 6 years old, and the other Mac Pro I have is now 10 years old. So and I can still use them. They still have 128 gigs of RAM. I still have a very powerful graphic card. I have very fast rate systems. So at the end of the day, it's really important for you to be a good artist. The technology behind it, you can always wait a little bit more. You can always wait for a render farm. It's always possible, you know, so keep that in mind. Anyway, a silver moon. Not really sure. Goodbye, Shazels. Hope you have a good night. Not really sure what I can do here at the moment. I believe that I need to... Yeah, I still need to get some stuff here. This is really not going to work just yet. I probably need to get some kind of figures to put there. So let's try to see if we can find them. So first of all, I'm going to just scout this area because there might be... I can hear the radio and I can see my controller is actually shaking, so... It's a shame Konami used to be so good, you know? Like, I really miss the good old days Konami. But I guess Kojima is trying to replace that. As you saw, I don't know if you guys seen the latest trailer for Death Stranding, but man, I've watched it maybe now 10 times. That trailer for Death Stranding is just monumental. I think that game is probably going to be one of the best games ever made. Can't wait to play that game. I just cannot wait to play that game. Okay, so turns out that there was no one there. Okay, oh, here we go. God damn, it wasn't quick enough. Oh, there's two of them. Okay, this is gonna be tricky. They are look at how detailed they are. They're basically just a bunch of polygons. It's amazing. God damn it! Just die already. Just die. Okay. I need to be a bit better killing them because losing a lot of ground here. I'm gonna see if I have any first aid. Yeah, I do. I have a health. Oh, okay. I have 6 of them. That's good. So I'm gonna use that one just to be green here because oh, I'm still not green. Okay. Oh, this is just a small portion. Okay, I'm gonna just like drink another one. Hopefully it gets green. There we go. Now we're green. Kaiser7, you're asking me if I've heard of Cyberpunk. Yes, I did. Cyberpunk 2077. I have a lot of friends that work at CD Projekt Red. It is such an amazing company. I can't wait to see what they come up with. That game looks stunning. I can't wait to play that game. But I don't think the game is going to come out this year, man. I think the game is probably going to come out next year. Unfortunately, I think it's one of those that is gonna take a while for them to really finesse. And hey, man, I'll tell you what, like, they can take as much long as they can. Okay, so here he is again. No way you're gonna do this again. You're gonna die this time. So they can take as long as they want, man. As long as the game is amazing as The Witcher 3, I don't care. They can take as long as they want. So Mark is asking if I watched Chernobyl yet. I haven't watched Chernobyl, Mark. No, I'm kind of waiting for all the episodes to be over, so that because I usually watch the shows with the English subtitles, because sometimes I can't understand what they say totally because it's not my native language. So there's only one episode left, so I'm going to wait until they're all here. Okay, the lock is jammed. Great, that's fantastic. The door can't be open. Yeah. Okay. So Bulk Knight asks, how can I get into freelancing as a student, and what software license will I need, and how to actually find jobs to 3D and compositing? So this is a great question. First of all, regarding licenses, really depends. This depends on if you're working remotely. You might have to source your own licenses. Because, of course, if you're working remotely, you have to buy your own licenses, and that's it, really. But if you're working for a company as a freelancer inside the company, then the company will provide all the software. That's how it works. If you're a freelancer working inside a company, the company will provide all the software, and then you can basically just use their software. That's how it works. So that's the question about the software, really. By the way, guys, I'm trying to find the look. I think maybe it's through here. Okay, there we go. So there's another bad guy here to kill. Oh, what the hell? That's like a little... Oh, okay. So what's going on here? Oh, it's like a little ghost. Look at that. It's like a little ghost. It's gone. That was weird. I didn't remember that. That's new to me. Couldn't remember that. So that's for the question about softwares. Now, if you want to know how to become a freelancer, here's how you become a freelancer. First of all, you have to be on a location that allows you to be a freelancer. So that means if you want to be a freelancer, you have to live. I'm talking about working in location, not remotely. We'll talk about working remotely in a second. So if you want to be a freelancer and really work on really top projects like films and TV shows, then you basically have to either live in London, or you have to live in Canada, in Montreal, or Vancouver, or you have to live in New York, or you have to live in Berlin or Munich. There's a bunch of basically what you have to do is you need to search where all the main visual effects companies exist, and you just have to be sure that you can move there. Otherwise, you won't be able to be a freelancer. For example, give an example. I live in London and I work in London. And because I work in London, we all know each other, there's like about 200 visual effects companies in London. And so, of course, because there are so many different companies in London, you can be a freelancer and jump from company to company. It's actually really nice because you can just basically jump from Framestore and then work at DNEG and then work at MPC, and they're all in the same kind of 1 meter, like 1 kilometer square kilometer. So it's always very easy to get gigs like that. So that's my first advice to you. I don't know what's your situation. Where do you live? Let me know where do you live. Maybe that's going to be easier for me to discover. Okay, this is locked, of course. Why what it not? Well, what am I doing without a light? Yeah, should I try to play the game without a light? Just look at this. Dynamic lighting on a... We've talked about this before. Please do not forget that that this machine is... I'm going to just put the... I'm going to put the specs up again because you guys probably forgot it. Here's the specs of the machine. Never forget that this machine's specs is this. We have 32.9 megahertz, 2 megs of RAM, 1 meg of video RAM, and basically it can do 4,000 sprites and only 360 polygons per second at 640 by 480. So this is literally a calculator. Pretty much a calculator, yes. And this calculator can do direct lighting. Look at that. It's very impressive. Anyway, just wanted to like throw that out there because sometimes people forget. Okay, so if you live in London, if you want to become a freelancer, you have to then build a showreel, build a very good showreel. This showreel then needs to be sent to every website of visual effects. So basically that means you need to like send it to Framestore, send it to Nineg, send it to MPC. Basically go work your way down. Whenever trying to send showreels, always try to send it to hundreds of companies. Biggest mistake people do is that they only send it to 1 or 2 companies, and then they say, oh, they didn't answer me. Oh, okay, here we go. God damn it. So people do a lot of that mistake. They don't send it to hundreds of companies. You need to be ready to send it to every single company, because you need to understand that most companies are busy. So a lot of times you won't get an answer. A lot of times you might get an answer a month later. A lot of times maybe they are not looking for the specific work that you're doing at the moment. And sometimes they can randomly call you like 3 months later. You never know. It's very tricky. So that's why you want to like make sure you have as many companies as possible. So hundreds of companies would be the best way. Now, if you are applying for compositing in 3D, send your cover letter, and then see if you can, because you live in London already, try to see if you can organize some kind of meeting so you can do an interview. Even if you're not going to work right away in the company, it's always nice to put a name to a face. So it's always good for you to go to the company, get to know them, and then they have your name on record, you know, and then they get to know you. And so the next time they have a job, maybe they'll contact you, you know. So that would be what I would give you an advice of if you're in London to do that. So Boris ABC is asking, what are some questions that you can ask you on the interview? So a lot of things they can ask you. So first of all, here's a rule of advice for the interview. Always learn what the company does, okay? I'm sorry, I'm a bit lost what I'm doing here. Okay, fuck's sake, it's all closed. So every single thing is closed, so I guess the only way is up. Yeah, I have to go up the stairs. So questions that come up, before even I go to the questions, first thing is, if you are going to go and meet up, for example, Nexus or the Mill or DNEG, make sure you study the company. That means make sure you know what they've been doing lately. Make sure you know what kind of work they've done in the past. Make sure you get to know the company. You don't even imagine, when I was at the Mill, the amount of people that would come into a meeting on an interview and they didn't know what the Mill was. They would ask me, oh, so what do you guys do? It's really bad if you do that. You want to make sure you have the full respect of the people interviewing you. So make sure you study the company. The other thing I would advise you to is go to LinkedIn. It's really important for you to have a LinkedIn profile, as you probably know. Go to LinkedIn and make sure, before you go to that company, check if you know someone from that company. Because if you know someone from that company, it will be very important for you to name drop that name. So imagine that you say, oh yeah, I actually know Jack from CG department and he works at the Mill as well. It's always good to name drop. You know why? Because if you know that person, if you are friends with it, or if you are, you know, maybe you had a drink with it, or maybe you met him at FMX, or maybe you met him on a conference, it's always good for the recruiter to go and ask this person what the first impressions were. So always try to be in a position where you know as much of the company as possible, and if you know people from the company, really try to name drop those names, especially if you met them somewhere, especially if you have a card from them. It's really important for you to keep that in mind. So that's kind of what you should prepare. Really quick ask. I'm going to continue to answer Boris. Don't worry, Boris. But Mark is asking me how long I've been in London. I've been in London for 10 years, Mark. So I left Portugal 15 years ago, and I've been in London for 10 years. So that's pretty much it. So to continue answering your questions, Boris, what kind of questions will they ask you? So they will ask you, what type of work do you do? They will ask you what experience you had before. They'll also will ask you things like, do you have experience working on a group? They will ask you if you have experience working in a team. To what you should answer. If you're a student, you should answer that you've done projects together with your students, because they're going to want to find out if you're good in a group, you know, because of course visual effects is a group effort, you know. It's very important for you to work as a group. So they're going to ask you that. They're also going to ask you what your expectations are in terms of position, like what are your positioning, what type of position are you looking for. They're also going to ask you what your salary should be, so make sure you already know the salary you're going to ask. Thank you so much, Squitzer CZ, for the follow. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciate for the follow. To do, sometimes at least. But if you have questions about Silent Hill, you can feel free to ask them as well. I'll try my best to answer it. So keep in mind that, where was I? I was talking about, oh yeah, the questions. The questions they will ask you is also if you're available right now. But yeah, regarding the salary, it's really important for you to have a specific figure in mind. If you're going to work as a freelancer, they're going to ask you how much do you want per day, if you work in London, for example. If you're going to work as a staff, or if you're going to work with a long contract, they might want to ask you how much you want per year. This is not good. I can hear some music, so that's always bad. Distilled water, no reason to drink it. Okay, fine. That's fine. So what other questions do you want to know? Like other types of questions that they might ask. Oh, by the way, here's a big... Okay, I got some chemicals here. Here's a big question that here's the thing that you really need to make sure you nail this. Make sure you hear everything they say before you interrupt them. Do not interrupt them, and make sure you hear everything they say first. And if you have questions, please bring questions. The thing that I most hate is when I had artists coming into the mill and I would do an interview to them, and they would say, oh, I don't know what to ask. Like, never do that, because you want to make sure you know what you're going to ask. Bring questions ahead of time, you know? Ask things about the company. Ask how many people they have on the department. Ask them if you can meet the head of the department. Even ask them if you can see the company. It's always great to show interest. They might not be able to show you everything because there's NDAs involved and projects that you can't see, but it shows a lot of interest if you tell them that you want to meet the company and see the facility. So try to always keep that in mind. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Like, there's so much things to think about. Oh wow, that looks great. So a statue of an old masked man. So I bet what's under this mask is probably one of the things you can put on the tower. I'm gonna... the fist is shut tight, as if never to let go. Can I actually take this? No, I guess I can't. Can I break it somehow? I guess not. Can I use the chemical? Maybe I can use the chemical. Let's try the chemicals here to see if it works. Keep the questions coming, guys. Okay, so the label says concentrated hydrochloric acid found in the lab equipment room. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is what I need to use. So if I put the acid, the hand will dissolve, most likely. There we go. Oh, look at that. Some smoke particles. That's a... Houdini can't do that. That's amazing. So, okay, so I have the gold medallion. Cool. So now I have one of the medallions for the tower. Now keep the questions coming. So Boris, did that, like, going back to the questions, Boris, did that help you in any way? Did I answer your questions? I hope I have. So let me know if you want to know more stuff about showreels and more stuff about interviews. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm playing Silent Hill while I'm answering all these things. I know it sounds silly, but hey, you guys are gonna get used to it. You'll see. I love playing video games. I've always been a sucker for video games, and so for me, I don't mind answering whatever questions you have, as long as I'm not playing Sekiro. If I'm gonna play Sekiro, I'll probably die 20 times just answering your questions. Okay, Kaiser7 asks, did you learn English while you were in London? No, I did not, Kaiser. So basically, basically, I learned English in Portugal. So I started learning English when I was 6 years old on school. And I was always obsessed by English. So I had English all the way to my university every year. And when I was 10 years old, I used to do this game with some of my friends where we would only speak English the whole time. We would never speak Portuguese. We would just speak English the whole time. And then, of course, it helps that films and TV shows in Portugal are not dubbed. You know, if you guys live in Germany or if you live in France, you know they dub everything. In Portugal, they don't dub anything, so everything has subtitles in Portuguese. So that was much easier for me to learn English because I had subtitles. God damn it, just die already. Okay. These fellas are just annoying. They're not even scary. So that helped for me to learn English, of course. The fact that I had friends that I would speak English the whole time with them. Also, the other thing that helped me to learn English was that I was obsessed with film, as we all are. So, you know, I watch films obsessively. I used to go to the video club and just rent any film. I know you guys don't know what a video club is, but video clubs is where you used to rent films before we had streaming. You used to rent VHS tapes. And so I would always watch films, and sometimes I would even cover the subtitle section or remove the subtitle if I could, so I can learn more English. And then, of course, when I was still in Portugal, the last years of Portugal, I used to work with a Swedish director. And, of course, we spoke English. So even in Portugal, for 5 years, I was working with him. I was always talking English. And then I went to Sweden. They only talk English there. And then I went to London. They only talk English here. So I would say, you know, I'm 40 years old. And I probably have been speaking English as my native language for about 20 years now. Because even in Portugal, I was speaking English fluid with the Swedish director, you know. So that's how I learned Portuguese. Sorry, that's how I learned English. Now, keep in mind, my English is not perfect, far from it. You know, I still have a very awkward Portuguese accent. And I try my best not to have it, but hey, it can't go anywhere. It will always be here. I guess I need to go to, well, I haven't opened the door. Shit, I forgot about those 2 bathrooms. I should probably, no, I went there. Oh, it's the music. Okay, let's see if this door opens. It does, okay. Okay, so Lenny is asking me, what inspired you to become a composer, then a VFX supervisor? So, the reason I became a composer, Lenny, is a long conversation, but I'm trying to synthesize it as best as we can, if I don't get killed first. Let's see if... I mean, the soundtrack of this game is fucking amazing. Is there anything else I can get here? So, I became a composer because I did... my original background is arts, and so... I did a master's degree in arts, fine painting, actually. So it was painting and drawing. And so it was very connected to 2D, you know. And while I was on the university, while I was learning how to draw, how to paint, how to sculpt, I started getting very used to... God damn it. Here he is. I'm talking and then I get distracted. So while I was at university... I kind of like got used to working on the computer. So back then, of course, it was After Effects and Premiere. And so I got used to using... God damn it. Got used to using a computer. And, of course, Photoshop was the second thing I learned. So I started transferring my skills as an artist, as a 2D artist, to Photoshop. And then, of course, in Photoshop, I started doing art and painting and concept art and drawings and all these things. Then from Photoshop, I eventually transitioned to After Effects and started doing video art in After Effects. And that's kind of how it happened, because once you become an After Effects artist, you become a composer. Now, obviously, the problem really is that it's difficult for you to learn, for you to become an artist in Portugal. You know, Portugal is a very small country. There's not a lot of, you know, if you're an artist, it's going to be difficult for you to get paid. It's going to be difficult for you to have money to live. So I'm poor, you know, I always came from a poor country. I came from a poor family, you know, my mother had nothing. My father died very young. My father died when he was 50. I was 10 when my father died. And obviously my mother was alone and we didn't have much, so I didn't really had a lot of money, and so I became an artist at the school. I took the degree in arts, but I couldn't really sustain myself as an artist. Usually artists have to have, you know, family backing. They have to have other things to support them. And so I had to start make a living. You know, I started having to earn money for a living, and so it transitioned from art to visual effects. You know, because I knew Photoshop very well, I knew After Effects very well, I knew Premiere very well, mainly because I was doing a lot of video art. So that kind of forced me to work for a living. So then I started, you know, I became a camera operator on the local TV network. I was a camera operator for a few years. I did a lot of documentaries. Then I became an After Effects artist, you know, making, you know, motion graphics. I then did some commercials for local TV. I did some short films. I always continued doing art and video art. To this day, I still do short films and art as much as I can. But unfortunately, you can't live from it. So because you can't live from it, I had to kind of make a choice. You know, I had to like become a compositor and work for a living. So that's kind of like my answer to your question. But anyway, we need to do a break. So I promise to all of you that I will answer all the questions. Don't worry. So as you guys know, guys and girls, I always take a very responsible streaming. So we always need to get up every hour. We need to drink water and make sure we keep a responsible stream. So I would like to invite you to all stretch your legs, to get some water, and of course to return as well. I won't switch off the stream, don't worry. So we'll be back. I'll be back in about maybe 5 minutes, maybe less than that, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you very soon after the intermission. Bye-bye. Okay, so I'm back. Hope you've all stretched your legs. I hope you've all drank some water. I hope so. It's really important for you to be healthy. Believe me when I tell you that, you know, I'm 40 now and I'm paying the price for not being healthy. So you need to make sure you do have a healthy lifestyle. Stretch your legs, go and exercise, go to the gym, drink water. Don't forget those things. So going back to the questions, I hope I've answered your question, Lenny. Now, part of the question was about being a composer, and I think I've answered that part. Now, to become a visual effects supervisor, the reason I moved to that is because I think that's a natural progression from a composer, then to a lead composer, and then to a VFX supervisor. I love film. I love being on set. I love being around cameras. I've always loved being around cameras. As you guys know, I have all these cameras as well. So for me, it was important to be on set, and to be on set, you become a VFX supervisor. So I hope that answered your question, Lenny. So Black J3015 asks, if I've been freelancing remotely for a few months now, after finishing a compositing course, but really want to get into a studio, but no luck yet. How would I suggest I approach it? Well, Black J3015, it's all about the showreel. So can you create a good showreel with the work you have? Have you created a good showreel? If you have a showreel, do you want to share it with us? Can we see it? If you don't want to share it with the group, do you want to send the showreel to me? It's all about the showreel. So we really need to make sure you have nailed that showreel so that they can call you back. I'll wait for you to answer me that. So so going back to the, let me just switch to our stream here, so we can continue, not neglecting Silent Hill. By the way, I brought my other T-shirt for Silent Hill. So this is Lakeside Amusement Park. So this is from Silent Hill 3, also one of my favorite games. And that's what this T-shirt was actually bought on E3 2 years ago. So going back to the questions here, while I don't neglect Silent Hill too much, otherwise you know, it's always bad. So I hope you've asked. I hope I've answered your question, Black J. Sorry about that. I have something on the floor here. I hope also I've answered your question, Linny. So, oh, look at that beautiful thing. If you leave the mouse, it kind of just moves into place. Sorry, I can't read this name. Squixers asks, oh, here's Pavel Visik. Hi, Pavel. How are you doing, man? It's been a while since we spoke. Hope you're doing very well, man. It's really, really nice to hear from you. So, Pavel, what is the most anticipated game of this year? Man, I'm sorry, there is only one answer to that. The only game of this year is Death Stranding. Death Stranding, the trailer, I've been watching it obsessively. I've been watching it so obsessively that I've actually bought the album that comes with the soundtrack of that trailer, man. This music is stunning and I can't stop listening to it. So if you guys haven't checked Death Stranding's trailer, Death Stranding uses this soundtrack here from Apocalyptica. So the trailer actually uses Path, which is this song, the last song of the album. It's called Path, and it's from Apocalyptic's album Cult from 2001. This music is amazing, man. Well, I'm not gonna play it. Otherwise, if I play it, it gets striked. You can hear it a little bit more, so I'm not gonna play more, otherwise it's gonna get copyright strike. I don't want to get copyright striked by this, but Death Stranding is the only game in my life right now. I can't wait to play it. Can't wait for November to come, so that I can actually play that game. That game looks stunning. And by the way, for all of you here on the stream, try to always watch that trailer in 4K, because the trailer is just amazing, and in 4K it looks so good. So to answer more questions, you guys have a lot of questions today, Jesus. So Pavel, I hope that answered your question. So I guess Death Stranding this year, and then of course Cyberpunk next year. I think those are my two most anticipated games this year. Kaiser7 is asking about France for visual effects. I have no idea how visual effects in France is. In terms of visual effects, I don't know. But in terms of gaming, there's quite a few big studios. In fact, I've worked at Ubisoft Paris. Ubisoft Paris is a really nice company. They have hundreds of people working there. Don't forget that a lot of the things that you learn as a 3D artist, you can transfer to the video games industry. Oh, here's the Phantom again. What is that? What the fuck? Oh, god damn it. Maybe look at Ubisoft Paris. Ubisoft Paris is a really good company, but maybe someone else here on the chat can help us with visual effects companies in Paris. I don't know a lot of them. I know Platige. No, not Platige. Oh, it's not Platige. What's the name? It's called... They do a lot of game cinematics. I forgot the name now. Just now I forgot the name. There's a really big company in Paris that does a lot of game cinematics, and I just forgot the name. I'm getting old. I forget names very often. I'm sure it will come when I'm not streaming. I think I've been here already. God damn it, I'm just like looping around here now. Okay, so where do I now? Okay, classroom was emptied. There's nothing there. The other classroom was also empty. God damn it. Okay, so more questions here. Shin Peng asks, what is the salary of a composer? I'm curious about differences between Asia and different... So Shing, to answer your question, salary-wise, I'm going to give you the salary as a freelance compositor in London, okay? So if you are a mid-level compositor in London, mid-level, of course, not senior, you're probably looking at £250 a day, maybe £300 a day. Anything between £250 and £300 a day. That would be kind of what I would say. So let's see here. Junior comp would be... I'm gonna write it. It's easier. Between 100. Now, when I say between, it really depends on your experience and also depends on how much you manage to kind of like convince them to do that, you know. So junior comp would be that kind of deal, and then mid-level comp. By the way, this is film, so mid-level comp you're probably looking at, and this is per day for short-term contracts, okay? So that would be probably 250. Mid-level would be like 200 to 250. senior, you're probably looking at maybe 250 to 350. Now, if you are a sequence lead, I'm just writing this down. If you're a sequence lead as a compositor, then it's a bit different. You might get between 300 to maybe 400. And again, it really depends. If you're a rock star, you know, if you are like a rock star, you might be able to pull off 500 a day. Really depends on how much rock star you are. But keep in mind that these are prices for film. If you're doing commercials, maybe you put a little bit more. You know, in commercial, maybe it would be maybe 25 quid more or maybe 50 quid more. Because in commercials, you have short contracts, so they usually pay you more. So I would say those are the numbers you're looking at. But it really depends on how much your ability of negotiation, you know. If you are a good negotiator, you can get more. And this is per day on short contract. These are for short contracts, okay? So if you have a long contract, it might be less. So keep that in mind. Hope that helped answer your question. So Varket asks, do you use Ace's workflow? I do use Ace's workflow. Why do you ask? Like, have you tried Ace's workflow? It's very good. It's really a step up from any kind of workflow I've ever worked. So I really recommend you investigating to using Ace's workflow. But here's an advice I will give you. Oh, Jesus, this doesn't look good. So here's the funny thing. This game is really scary, but it's not being scary at all because I'm answering visual effects questions. I think next time I should probably play a fighter. I should probably, or maybe play a racing game because, you know, it really loses the impact. Basically, you don't really feel the terror of Silent Hill by just watching me play like this. But hey, I'm trying my best to make it atmospheric. I'm sorry. It's so funny to be playing a game like this while talking about visual effects. It's great. I love it. So yeah, maybe ask me more about the Aces. I don't know why you asked. Boris is asking Alexa or Red and why. So it's not a matter of which one, Boris, because they all have advantages and disadvantages. For example, Alexas have less resolution, Reds have more resolution, but Alexa cameras. Hope I don't forget anything. Oh, I can see there's a scare coming up. Okay. Well, that doesn't sound good. What do you guys think? Should I open that or should I not open it? I mean, it doesn't look very convincing. It doesn't look very good. I'm gonna open it. Let's see what happens. Oh, it's just a cat. Okay. It's just a bloody cat. Oh, shit. God damn, they killed the cat. That's not good. I hate violence to animals. Oh, great. So much for that. There's nothing inside. Okay, that's fantastic. So answering your question about Alexa and Red, Alexa has less resolution, Red has more resolution, but keep in mind that Alexa is much more stable. It doesn't crash as much on set. A Red camera can be more unstable. An Alexa camera also has more support because, of course, Alexa comes from the Addy company. Addy has been around for ages, and they really know what they're doing. Red has been around for less time. So this network of support that you get on an Alexa is much higher. And these days, most films, most companies use an Alexa, for commercial especially, and even for film, most of them use an Alexa. And I think it has to do with support, you know. It really has to do. So there was nothing there. That's fantastic. So this was all for nothing. I mean, I guess the only thing that happened here was the cat is dead now. That's not cool. That's not cool at all. I loathe, fuck's sake. Just fucking die already. God damn it. Okay. He's dead now. Still not dead. Okay, is he dead now? Yeah, he's dead now. Okay, so, you guys have a lot of questions today, Jesus. So, Cake, this is a great name. KK These Boys. KK These Boys? What the hell is that? Hey, I hope you don't mind asking a technical question. Can you talk a bit more about Ace's workflow between Nuke and Resolve for the Blackmagic camera for conforming the footage and not lose any quality? It's a bit confusing between in Nuke there's no proper settings on the camera or audio already. Your streams are awesome, by the way. You're awesome, KK Des Boys. Thank you so much for the kind words. Really appreciate all your kind words. You guys are asking so many questions today. I'm trying to catch up. I really have to thank so much to Linny for all the help that she's giving me. So Linny is actually putting the questions on the side just for me, because Linny is one of our moderators for the chat. Thank you so much. Please join me to thank Linny CG for the amazing help she's giving me as a moderator. So let's all get together and give a round of applause for Linny CG. Thank you so much, Linny. Thank you so much, Linny. I couldn't have done this today without you. Thank you so much. We all appreciate the amazing effort you're giving here. Because if you weren't putting the questions on the side, I would have been screwed here. Thank you so much. So yeah. So going back to the questions regarding the ACES workflow. So the ACES workflow is really confusing, I know, because unfortunately Nuke does not support the Blackmagic raw footage. So you should never use Nuke for any of the footage, even if you can read the footage. Oh, that's a good angle. Look at that. Beautiful camera work. There's such good camera work on this game. It's unbelievable. Okay, so what is that? Okay, it's written in blood. That's great. A tale of birds without a voice. First flew the greedy pelican, eager for the reward. White wings fell out flailing. Then come a silent dove, flying beyond the pelican as far as he could. A raven flies in, flying higher than the dove, just to show that he can. A swan glides in to find the peaceful spot next to another bird. Finally out comes a crow, coming quickly to a stop, whining and then napping. Who will show the way? Who will be the key? Who will lead to the silver reward? Okay, so obviously this is a riddle for me to get the silver medal. I'm assuming there's some kind of more help somewhere here. While I'm waiting to see if I can find a way of doing this, I'm gonna just try the... Okay, it won't open. Odd, doesn't look locked though. Okay, so there's probably some way of opening this bloody thing. So going back to your question, AK Des Boys, first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you don't process the footage inside of Nuke. Nuke does not have the correct LUTs for processing Blackmagic footage. Anything that is shot with the Blackmagic camera needs to be processed... I can't break the piano, okay. Needs to be processed inside DaVinci. And you need to use DaVinci because then you have the correct LUT, and you have the correct debarring of the footage. The footage needs to be correctly debarred, so you have the correct sharpness, and also so that you have the correct resolution on the camera as well. So always go to DaVinci, apply the correct color lookup table for what you shot on the camera, and then from there, you basically can then export a linear version. You can either use ACES to export it, or you can use EXR linear to export it back to Nuke. So you always have to go to DaVinci, convert with the correct LUT, and then convert to linear. I'm going to do a video about this for Hugo's Desk. I don't know when this video will happen, but this has been one of the most requested videos I've ever had. So I will do that video. Obviously, that video is going to take a while for me to do it, so that's why I haven't done it yet. Because it's a very complicated video, and I have no fucking idea what I have to do here. I can't remember what the piano is to do. God damn it. Okay, well, maybe there is nothing for me to do at the moment on piano. So I hope that answered your question, KK Des Boys. And never used Nuke. Okay, SpaceX151 asks, I'm 16 years old, and I'm taking animation class in my high school, and I'm taking compositing department. My goal is to become a digital compositor one day in live-action movie, but my school is only focusing the student to 3D animation movie, and after graduate, I want to learn VFX, especially digital compositing. I want to go to college, but I already learned the whole 3D animation in high school, so I'm a little confused what's the next step is. So, first of all, SpaceX 151, there's no problem with you learning 3D now and learning compositing after. That actually is going to help you as a compositor for sure. So, it's going to actually be good for you to transfer your knowledge from 3D to 2D. But if you really want to become a digital compositor, you either have to go to a school where they learn digital compositing, or you have to do a course in digital compositing. It's going to be really beneficial. This goes to everyone in the chat here, do not try to learn compositing by YouTube. There is an enormous amount of videos on YouTube that are completely incorrect. I try my best to flag the incorrect videos. I try my best to tell always to people not to listen to certain videos. It's very important for you to understand that people on YouTube, sometimes they are not very knowledgeable of what they're talking about. So don't try to learn compositing by YouTube. And by the way, whenever you, this is an advice to everyone. Whenever you see a video on YouTube, like a tutorial, always research what that person has done. That means you should check the Internet Movie Database website of this person. You should check the LinkedIn profile of this person. And you have to make sure that this person actually knows what they're talking about. It's important for you to understand that there's a lot of people on YouTube just trying to make a quick buck. So their tutorials might have a ton of incorrect data. Always research your teachers. You can easily research them in Google. You can also research them in Internet Movie Database and on LinkedIn. This is really important for you to do that. So SpaceX 151, my biggest advice would be for you to do a nuke compositing course. You can either do a course with me. I have a compositing course. You can contact me and I can guide you to how to do that course. I'm going to do that course this week on Kickstarter currently. I have a couple of people here on the chat that have done my course as well. But there's other places. You can try FX PhD. FX PhD is very good for that. You can also try lynda.com, some of the Steve Wright tutorials. They are very good as well. So there's a lot of places for you to go, but just try to avoid YouTube, except if you are sure that that person on YouTube is really good and that person has a lot of experience. That's the main key element here. You want to make sure that person really has worked in film, that they've worked in the industry, you know, before you start listening to what they have to say. It's always important for you to make sure that they know what they're talking about. So I hope that answered your question, SpaceX 151. Really hope that answered your question. So another question here I have from AOLX. Hi, just interested in how to transfer from 3D to 2D comp. Was it easy? I'm on the fence on what to specialize at the moment. So if you are on the fence, on specializing between 3D or 2D, I would say that you should try to learn both. Because the future, my friend, is 3D and 2D. The future is a merging of both, for sure. There's an enormous amount of companies that are now using 2D and 3D together. I'll give you an example. Blur Studios, Pixar, they don't have a compositing department. They basically use their CG artists as compositors on their projects. So there's a lot of companies that are merging CG compositing with 3D, so that they don't have to have compositing departments per se. So if you are a 3D artist already, why not learn compositing and become both? That will really make sure that you have a really good future in the industry, because knowing both will, here we go again. Knowing both will really allow you to be flexible, and you will be able to kind of like jump from job to job, you know. I have a lot of friends that know both, and it really helped their careers, you know. So I hope that helped answer your question. Now, to answer what Sean Fontaine has said, MadLuxZ actually works on bot VFX. Yes, so Fontaine, it's true. MadLuxZ is not a very good YouTube channel. His videos are inaccurate. MadLuxZ's videos are not correct. They have a lot of mistakes. We all try to make sure everyone knows the mistakes by writing them on the comments, but he kind of ignores it most of the time. I try my best to help him to get the channel to be better, but don't be surprised that he works at VFX. You know, you will on your career learn that a lot of people that are not very good work in companies. Sometimes people get hired. You never know how they got hired. Sometimes they bullshit their way into the company, or sometimes the company has such low standards that they think his work is good. So keep in mind that it really depends on the company as well. So one thing I should say, not only look at their LinkedIn page, look at the Internet Movie Database page, but also if they work on a company, make sure that you look at the company and check if this company is good enough. You know, check if this company actually has good work and actually knows what they're doing. So it's kind of like researching, really. It's so important to research before you venture into YouTube or to listening to these things, you know. So Kaiser7 is asking me, what about Paul Denigris? I have no idea who Paul Denigris is. I need to check. Paul Denigris, I've never heard of him. Maybe I need to look into that channel. Thank you so much for letting me know. I'm actually going to search right now because then I don't forget. Let me just put it on Google here so that I can kind of like. So what? He has does Paul have a YouTube channel or something? Is that what you're meaning? Or does he have a Vimeo channel or something? Okay, so I'll look at his. I'll look at his website. Okay, so he has 2,000 subscribers. I'll look into it. I have never checked his work, so thank you so much for the name. Now, regarding VFX for filmmakers, VFX for filmmakers has some good content. I think VFX for filmmakers is an okay YouTube channel. The only thing I would complain about his channel is that he has never worked in the industry. And I think it's important for you to work in the industry to talk and teach about the industry. So he's an academic, he's a proper teacher, he knows how to explain things, but I think the lack of experience from the industry is the only downside of the VFX for Filmmakers website. Although I do think he does good work. We know each other, and that's no secret. So of course, take my opinion as a grain of salt. You should judge yourself for the stuff he makes. But I do think he has good work. He just needs. I just think that he should get some experience. You know, he should work on the industry for a few years, so that he can basically bridge the gap between the industry and academical, because academia is very different from working. You know, you can learn as much as you want in a company, in a university, in an academic level, but then if you don't work, it's very different. You know, it's like you have to make sure you know what the industry is making, especially because there's so many companies that change their pipelines in a year base. So you can be, oh shit, okay, so I'm on the basement now. Boiler room, up, down. Okay, so what do you guys think? Should I go to the boiler room or should I go to the storage room? So, Fontaine, yeah, you're right. Like, VFX for filmmakers, I think he's good, but I think he should work in the industry. Working in this industry, make sure that you, like, because you work on the industry, it allows you to learn how pipelines work. It allows you to learn how to work with teams, you know? So, other questions here. Linny CG is asking how to showcase roto work on a reel. For example, do you think showing the roto over a constant is acceptable? I would avoid that and do roto only if necessary instead of doing roto for the sake of roto. Just asking this as a last resort. So I think showing it against a constant is definitely acceptable. It's also probably good for you to show the actual alpha channel, so black and white. So maybe show the footage, show it against a constant, and then show it black and white so they can see the roto. I think that's the most common way of showing rotoscoping. So Nano VFX says, hello, I wanted to know usually how assemble the scenes. I mean, bringing environment animation into scenes. I would like very much to get into lighting, so I was wondering if there would be a part of that job, but if so, if I see a problem on some assets, for example, what do I see first, the supervisor or the concerned department? So, Nano VFX, that's an excellent question. You guys didn't... okay, so Linny CG wants to go to the boiler. Black J315 wants to go to the boiler. Let's just go to the boiler. If I die, it's all your fault. Just putting it out there. Okay, boiler room, okay. So, I'm assuming there's probably something for me to do here, probably. I'm assuming that. There is a switch. Do I want to press the switch or not? Oh, okay, here we go again. I guess I'm gonna press the switch and nothing happens. Fantastic. Well, that was great. Okay, so there's nothing else in this room. Okay, you guys chose the most boring room then. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so what's going on here? So we have like some... Can we actually use any of this? Let's see here. The valve is tightly shut. Can't move it. Okay, don't know what it's for. Better leave it alone. I think so as well. Okay, they're all tight, I guess. I can't move any of them. No. Okay, so the boiler room is a no-go. Okay, let's just go to this here. So I guess then next up is the storage room. Let's try the storage room. So to answer your question, Nano, usually the person that assembles the scene in a company is called a layout artist. So a person that is a layout artist, and by the way, I'm gonna just like write it here. So layout artist. This person is the person that gathers everything, gathers the animation, the rigs, gathers the footage, gathers, sorry, not the footage, the models, and basically lays out everything, making sure it blocks everything, it brings in the camera. So from all the different departments, the animation department, the camera department, the lighting department, it all gets gathered on layout. Now, obviously the layout then finishes everything and then delivers to the lighting department for them to finish the lighting. Or sometimes it could be happening at the same time. In case you find a problem, it's always better for you to discuss it with the person involved first, before bringing the supervisors. Here's why there's nothing inside, okay. Here's why you should always talk with the person first and then the supervisors. You do not want to waste the supervisor's time if it's something simple. Imagine if the person giving you the asset made a mistake, and maybe you can fix it in 3 minutes. For you to escalate this to the supervisor, it's only going to become a problem, because then the person will be upset because you escalated it to the supervisor. The supervisor is going to be upset because it was a simple thing, could have been fixed without him, and so everyone is going to be upset. Obviously, if the artist involved is not willing to change or to even admit that there's a mistake, then you should go to the supervisor. Only then you should do that. So that's, you know, this is a bit like a military institution. You try to work it out with the grunts, and if it doesn't work, you go to the lieutenants. And if it doesn't work, you go to the sergeants, and then you go to the captains, and you go to the generals. You keep working your way up until you kind of find a solution. So, I guess the basement was nothing. There's nothing for me to do on the basement. So, I'm gonna just go up again, because there's nothing else here. So I'm a bit lost, I'll be honest, because I haven't really been paying much attention to the game, because I've been talking to you guys. And by the way, I'm gonna take this opportunity to ask you all, is this all working for you guys? Like, are you enjoying the stream? Do you enjoy asking questions while I'm playing Silent Hill? Please give me some feedback about that as well. I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying it very much. But of course, obviously, it's not all about me. It's all about you as well, so... Great. That's good. Good to know. Don't forget that if you want to watch our first stream, because we started playing this game last Monday, you can become a subscriber to my Twitch channel. And don't forget, if you become a subscriber to the Twitch channel, you can watch all the replays for free. The other thing also that you can do is you help my channel a lot by supporting the channel. And also don't forget that if you have Amazon Prime... Okay, there we go. If you have Amazon Prime, you can support my channel for free. So basically, if you have Amazon Prime, you basically can link your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and that means you can subscribe to my channel for free, and I get the money from Amazon. You don't pay anything, and I become very happy, and you guys help my channel. What the hell is going on here? I guess there's probably something here to see. No special book here. Okay, I'm sure there's a special book somewhere. There's probably something here to do. What about this? Is this gonna help? No, not helping. I'll be honest, guys. I'm a little bit lost here. Not really sure exactly what I need to do. That's the thing with these games. The games from the 90s were always very complicated for you to understand what was going on. Because, you know, back in the day, people would have to use the game for a long time because the games were so expensive that you want to make sure the game lasts a long time. I'm going to try to go to the library reserve to see if it helps. Okay, so... just seeing what you guys are saying here. So someone is thinking Yoroshi Santo. I guess I've lost what you guys were talking about. Maybe it was... That's the thing. I'm just distracted by the game. I didn't notice what you guys were talking about. Okay. Never mind then. Keep the questions coming. Don't forget. So I hope the questions have been helpful today. We had a lot of questions so far. I'm very happy that we had so many questions. It's been great. And thank you so much, Baldur Bloodzax. Baldur Bloodaxe for the follow. Thank you so much for that. Much appreciated. Oh, god damn it. I knew it. Like, it had to be like that, right? Thank you so much, Lenny, for that. I think I've answered all the questions. Now, keep in mind, if anyone is not happy with their response, you know, like if anyone wants their question to be more developed, make sure you let me know, and I can talk more about that topic at hand. So don't be shy. If you want to know a bit more about something that you've asked and I didn't really answer you completely, just feel free to ask again, or maybe ask for me to develop that question. Okay, so there's nothing here as well. Okay, let's see here. So I need to probably like just look into... Okay, so nothing here either. There's some pixelated posters, that's for sure. Let's see here. So I'm inside the reserve. Okay, so I can open up the reserve's door now. This is the door I came from, I believe. Yes, I did. Okay, cool. So let's see here. Let's just go through this door. Okay, if I unlock this door, so now I don't have to go around anymore. I can now go directly to this pathway here, which means I can go to the Okay, so I now can go to the other side. Good, let's do that. Oh, this soundtrack is so good. Can you hear it? Sean Fontaine is saying, speaking of YouTube compositing sites, I also think apart from bad YouTube channels, there isn't a lot of people doing industry cleanup tutorials. Everyone is so focused on CG because it's cool. No one focuses on core paint essentials, like painting out reflections, lights on cars, windshields, and so. I think as a junior comp, do you think there's an area that should be more focused on from content creators teaching juniors? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sean, you're absolutely right. And the funny thing about this is that that's why I did the nuke course. That's why my Kickstarter course was made. And because, you know, Sean, because you've been on my course, you are in my course at the moment. You know exactly what I mean. Like we do a lot of cleanup, we do a lot of roto, we do a lot of those things, because it's just like that's the most important part of compositing. There is no way you're gonna become a compositor without knowing those things, because those are the most. And I'll be honest. A few weeks ago, I was part of the. I was on a meeting at Framestore, and we were basically going through the showreel requirements, you know. So I was at the Framestore meeting. Because I'm part of the board of the Norwich Film School, and we were talking about showreels, and everyone from Framestore to DNEG was complaining by the fact that every showreel is filled with CG compositing, and no one needs CG compositing as a junior. As a junior, you'll never do CG compositing. That's just never going to happen. What's going to happen is that you're going to work as a cleanup artist and as a roto artist for years before you actually get given a CG shot. So it's really important for you to understand that it's CG is very fancy, but it's just not what the industry needs. Okay, so I probably can put this thing here. Let's just see if I can... Silver Moon. So which one do I have? I can't remember which one I have. I have the gold one. Okay. So it's probably on the other side. Need to get the silver one, though. So that's the gold one. Okay, so let's try to put it in here. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Fontaine. It's because the schools want the showreels to look cool. That's the thing. But the industry, the companies, they don't care about CG. They just don't care. That's just not necessary for a junior. Of course, obviously, if you're a senior or if you're a mid-level, then you should have CG. Okay, I can't open the door yet. Oh, it's... Oh, wait, shit. Wait a minute. The clock is now at 12. It used to be at 10. So I guess I'm getting closer. I just need to find where the silver thing is. I'm going to save my... Because we're going to do a break. I'm going to go and save, because I haven't saved in a while. So the saving point is where... can't remember anymore where the save was. Is it in reception? It's been a long time since I saved. Let's see here. Yeah, because by the way, guys, you probably don't remember this, like, because of course you guys are very young. But, oh, I can go to the... Wait a minute, I didn't went to the roof yet. I should try to go to the roof. Oh, I forgot about that. These kind of games, you have to save manually. You can't just, like, save by pressing the plus, like pressing the button. You have to literally save by hand, which is very refreshing, I think. Makes the game a lot harder and a lot cooler as well. Yeah, the save is not here, it's on the other side. Sorry, I went to the wrong one. I know there's some questions accumulating, don't worry, I'll get to everyone. A lot of questions today, and again, thank you so much, Lenny, for the help with the questions. You've been amazing, and I'm so sorry that you have to do this. I really need to compensate you in some way. I'll find a way. Here you go. This is what I wanted. I wanted to save, so let's just save for the moment. We have been playing this game for 3 hours now. This game is about 9 hours long, so we're not far from the end. We're like you know, like close to a third way into the game. Now let's just get back to the chat a bit here, because I want to do a break. Like I said, I really find responsible streaming is very important. So please keep in mind that we should all stretch our legs. We should all drink some water and try to keep a healthy stream. So we're gonna do a break. When I come back from the break, I'm going to like you know, answer all the questions. Thank you so much for the kind words, Lenny. Thank you so much for the kind words, Lenny CG. But yeah, you can drink some beer, of course. But for me, it's
more to the left. No,
and more to the left,
right.
And more to the right, and more to the left.
A little bit more to the right.
More to the left. So Baldur Blood Axe, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. And because you're doing a Twitch Prime, don't forget you're not spending any money, but I still get paid by Amazon, which is great. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really means a lot to me. So let's do a break, and then when I come back, we're going to answer the rest of the questions we have here. We're going to continue playing Silent Hill. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you in about 3 to 5 minutes. I'll see you very soon. Okay, so I'm back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I'm really enjoying today's stream. You guys have so many questions. It's awesome. It's really awesome. So don't forget, that if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to my channel. Subscribing to my channel gives you a really cool perk, which is the ability to support my channel so that I can continue doing these streams. And also don't forget that you can watch the replays of my old streams as well. We have workshops on Thursdays, and we have Q&As on Mondays. And thank you so much for all the support and all the love on the stream. It's been fantastic. Also, don't forget that I have a Patreon as well. If you go to my Patreon, Hugo's Desk, you can support my channel even further, including you can get some scripts and some footage from my videos. And you can vote for my videos as well, even my streams as well. So you get to vote what workshops we do. So, but let's get back to this. So obviously we've been playing Silent Hill for about 2 hours now. My favorite game, and I'm gonna not neglect all the questions. So let's go back to the questions we have here. Boris ABC, and again, thank you so much, Lenny CG, for helping me with the questions. So if you guys don't know, Lenny CG is my moderator, and she is actually posting all the questions in one single stream here for me, which is so much easier for me to only see the questions. Of course, I've been neglecting the chat a little bit because I only see the questions, but thank you so much, Lenny. So please, everyone gives a round of applause to Lenny. She's amazing. Thank you so much for that. Anyway, going back to the questions, Boris ABC, how does a standard day at the mill look like? You're talking, Boris, are you talking about the amount of hours you work? Is that what you mean? If you're talking about a standard day, or are you talking about the money? If you're talking about the standard day, normally everyone works 8 hours, but because Britain, UK, does not have, they do not have overtime, so no one gets paid, unfortunately, overtime. Sometimes you work for 9 hours, sometimes you work for 10 hours, sometimes you work for 12 hours, sometimes you work for 15 hours. It really depends on the work that has to be done. And fortunately, places in the UK take advantage of that, especially commercial places like the mill, you know. So keep that in mind, that it's a bit tricky sometimes. But anyway, it's really up to you, you know. I think it's important for you to kind of understand that you should make your own hours, and you should make sure they understand that you cannot work forever, because you should rest. So it's important for you to make sure from the beginning that you're not going to be, you know, screwed around by working for 12 hours. So that's my answer to that. So going back to the other questions you have there, looking for the staircase, because I need to go to the piano again. Okay, so for me to go to the top there, okay, I can go through here. Okay, cool. It's just, I mean, now you probably notice Silent Hill is a lot of walking around and nothing happening. Unfortunately, that's how this game works. I'm sorry that it's a bit boring, but that's what it is. You're saying... You're saying on the chat that I should play Sekiro. There's no way I can answer showreels and questions while I play Sekiro. How the hell am I going to do that? It's never going to happen. So, going back to your question, how long and how was it working there? So, Boris ABC, I loved working at the mill. I thought the mill is one of the best places to work ever. They have an amazing facility. The artists there are amazing. There's people at the mill that have been working there for 30 years. So the legacy of the company is amazing. You get to work with some really, really well-known artists from the world. And the mill is one of the biggest standard companies in the world. You know, like, the mill is like the biggest visual effects company for commercials by far. It's also the oldest company for visual effects. So it has a huge legacy. I really enjoyed working there. And I think anyone should always work on a company like the mill at least once in their lifetime. So Black J3015, you mentioned before that switching from freelancer to studio work depends on the reel. What are the essentials to draw attention? I didn't say switching from freelancer to studio depends on the reel. It doesn't really. What I meant was that you need to have a good show reel to become a freelancer. Now, for you to become a staff inside the company, then the whole thing you need to do is you need to become very good as a freelancer. If you are always going back to their basically a good freelancer, you always ask them again. You know, you always basically ask them to return. And that's the proof that that freelancer is good. You ask them again to return to the company. And if you put your head down, do the work, do the hours, make sure everyone works well with you, make sure you work well with teams, make sure you do not make any tantrums, make sure you don't fight with anyone, then you will most likely, after a few months, be asked to stay for longer. And once you are asked to stay for longer, then perhaps they will ask you to become staff. And that's really the key. Like, if you become staff, it becomes so much more easy for you to then have a better salary, to have better benefits, you know, all those things are very important. So that's to answer your question, really. So now, Shioiti asks, can I ask you to review my showreel? So, Shioiti, do you mean you want me to open the showreel right now here on the stream, or do you want me to do it privately with you? Because, of course, obviously, I don't mind doing it here on the stream, but you might mind that I open it here. So please keep that in mind. Maybe answer me that, and then I can answer you what you think. Okay, so I'm going to move on to another question until you answer me about the showreel. So Lenny CG asks, because you told us on the call, maybe you don't want to answer. You said you will be a game supervisor. How will your job be different from the VFX supervisor? So Lenny, it doesn't really make a bit difference, no, because I'm actually going to be supervising a shoot, a green screen shoot on this game. So I'm not actually supervising the game itself. I'm supervising. Oh, thank you so much, Sebastian 43210 for the subscription on Twitch.
A little bit more to the left.
A little bit more to the left?
Just a bit more to the right.
And a little bit more to the right. Thank you so much, Sebastian, for the subscription. Means a lot to me to have a new subscriber. Thank you so much for that. So to answer your question, Celine, I'm not going to be a supervisor of a video game. I'm going to work in a video game. So I'm working with a team of video game, but I'm actually not supervising the game itself. I'm supervising all the footage and all the filming that is happening in that game. Thank you so much, as HJS, for the follow. So in that sense, it's going to be the same as I'm doing now. I'm basically having meetings with the client, which is the game makers. We're deciding how to film certain things. We're deciding to talk about how to approach certain visual effects. It's very similar to any other project. You know, it's very similar to any other project, really, because it's a visual project. So that's kind of like what you have to keep in mind. I'm not going to abandon visual effects or abandon compositing. I'm just like putting my foot more and more in the video games industry because that's my love, that's my passion. I love video games. I've always loved video games. So that's what I'm doing. I am a visual effects supervisor in this game. I can't talk much about this, unfortunately, because it's a secret project, but you will know more. Don't worry, Lenny. I will tell you exactly what I'm doing later on. Don't worry. I will let you know. And you will see the game. You'll see. Now, notice here, the piano actually has some markings now. It wasn't open before. Okay, there's blood in some keys. Okay, does this mean anything? I guess it does. Check the piano. Yes, please. Let's check the piano. Oh yeah, so I need to play certain riffs. Now, I have no idea what riffs I should play at the moment. I've been talking and talking and yapping and yapping and yapping, so I have no idea what I should play here, but I guess I can search. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm just going to look up on the internet because I just don't know, man. I've been so focused on talking to you guys, I have no idea which key I should click. So I hope you don't mind that I'm just gonna play the keys from a walkthrough, because I just don't remember. Also, I've finished this game a few times. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, okay, so cool. So other questions here. Let's see here. So Shoyuti, don't forget, I asked you if you wanted me to review your showreel on the actual stream. Please let me know if you want me to open it. Oh, okay, you said it's fine on the stream. Okay, so I'll open it in a second. Let me just go through the rest of the questions. Halux asks, where can I find the Kickstarter course? Is it still available? I'm new to Nuke and I'm finding it hard to find good tutorials or cleanup like Sean mentioned. So, thanks, Fontaine. So basically, Alex, my Kickstarter was last year, so I did it last year on Kickstarter. It's a full nuke course. It's about. I'm still doing it. A lot of people on the chat here have done my course. I'm gonna launch my course again this week. So if you want to know more about it, please follow me on Kickstarter. So here's my old course. I'm obviously going to make a new link. It won't be this link. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong chat. I just posted on the wrong chat. Sorry about that. That's the chat I should post. So you basically go to this page and you can see Hugo's Desk projects. So for example, if you go to just Hugo's Desk, you can see my projects. And just keep an eye, maybe do a follow. It will be launched this week. Now, obviously, this course, I understand that this course looks like it's very expensive, but don't forget this course is taught by 3 teachers. So we have actually 3 teachers on this course. And also this course as well, I'm going to make it full screen here. This course as well has over 75 hours of videos. So this is the most comprehensive nuke compositing course ever made. It's 75 hours of videos. We cover every single topic. And just like Sean was saying here on the chat, we don't cover the topics like YouTube. We cover the topics from a professional point of view. So every single thing here, like we go really deep. As you can see, for example, we have entire classes dedicated to rotoscoping and painting, entire classes for keying, entire classes for tracking. None of these things are like a really small tutorial on YouTube. We go really deep on all these topics. We go it from a professional point of view. We also only use assets from companies and professionals. So I only use assets from actual productions. So keep that in mind and maybe look at my course at some point. Basically, to go back to your question, Alex, you ask, would you say that your course would make your junior ready for a company? Yeah, I would say that, yes. I would say you can get ready for a company because I give some footage for the showreel. You guys can make a showreel from the footage that I give you. You get mentor level support. We can help you and give you advice on how to work in a company. And especially you get some showreel material, which is production material. And so you can see for yourself, like people on the chat here talking about it as well. You see Linny is on my course. She seems to like it, you see. So going back to the last question here before I open up the showreel. And before I go into the showreel, let me just play the piano here. So the first key is this one. And then the second key is this one here. And then the third key is this one. The fourth key is this one, and the fifth key. So I do apologize that I did this way, but I have no way I'd remember how that was going because I've been chatting and chatting and chatting. So, okay, so now I have the silver thing. Great. So I can now go to the tower and actually put the silver in the tower. So I need to like leave the tower now. Okay, so yeah, no problem, Alex. I currently have a full-time job, so a course would like to be perfect. Yeah, that's definitely, Alex. My course is a stream and it's videos, so you can watch it whenever. You can watch it whenever you like. You know, you can watch it during the evening. You can watch it during the night. You can watch it, you know. It's completely remote, so it's very good for that. Thank you so much for the kind words from my students here on that stream as well. Okay, so before I open the showreel, I'm just gonna go and put the thing on the tower. Let's just do that real quick before I open the showreel. It's not even 8 o'clock, so we still have plenty of time. Let's see here. So I need to go down. Yes, I need to go down. So I need to go through here. Go down here. Okay, go down again. Okay, and now I need to get myself into the courtyard. Oh no, sorry, I went down too far. This is the boiler room. I don't need to go this far. I need to go to the let's see, where is it's funny thing that I'm constantly opening the map. You imagine if a monster looks at me, they probably think that I'm kind of like some kind of tourist because I keep opening the map the whole time. It's just ridiculous. Imagine that, like the monster looks it up. Why is he constantly opening a map? Actually, I can't go this way. I have to go to the other side of the room. So I have to actually go through here. And I need to go to the other staircase. So that means I need to walk all the way around. Okay, cool. Cool. So I need to just go through here all the way. A lot of backtracking on this game. Okay, so now I need to go... no, I don't need to go that way. I can go this way. Where's the gameplay? You're not showing the gameplay? What do you mean? Of course I'm showing the gameplay. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry about that. Sorry. I'm so sorry about that. I didn't notice. I should have checked. I am so sorry about that. Okay, so there's a bunch of questions here. But a bunch of people talking. Yeah, thank you for all of my students chatting about my course. Thank you so much. All the kind words you're giving to my course. Thank you so much for that. I am so sorry that I didn't show you the CG. Did you guys miss the piano getting? Did you miss the piano? I hope you didn't miss the piano section. Did I show you the piano section? I hope so. Because that's when I got the silver medallion. Did you guys see me getting the silver medallion? Let me know if you did. If you didn't get... Okay, cool. Good. Because I thought I probably had this for a long time. Sorry about that. I got distracted. You know, that's the thing. That's what happened. This is what happens when you're having fun. When you're having fun, you forget things. Oh, you missed the silver? Oh, I'm so sorry. Come back, okay. So basically what I did was I went to the piano and I played the keys that I should have played, and then now I finally have the silver thing. I can't do it again, I'm sorry. Because I've done it already, so thank you so much. I am so sorry that I've screwed up this. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It will never happen again. Oh, it will. I'm sure it will again. Okay, so let's go to the tower. Where's the tower? The tower was on this side, I think. Cool, so I'm gonna put the silver thing. This better be good, man. I've been, like, waiting for this thing forever. This better be good. Better be good. Better be something cool. Sean Fontaine says, I'm playing Silent Hill as well, Hugo. Now I can't do the piano... I can't do the piano bit. He was counting on it. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, you can see, you can Google it, you know, you can kind of Google it. Okay, so this is probably going to be ready for us. This is not good. I can hear some music. Okay, so it says hands are stopped at 5 o'clock. Now, the music is getting very, very hectic here, so, I don't have a good feeling about this, guys. Really don't have a good feeling at all. Okay. What the hell is happening here? Just god damn it, god damn it, these things again. Just die already. I killed them all. How can there still be some of these? Where are they coming from? Jesus Christ. They're annoying as fuck. Just leave me alone. I'm doing it from my back. It just makes no sense. Such a violent game. There you go. There you go. Okay, so I probably better save now that I have that thing done. Probably better save. What do you guys think? I probably better save. Let's just save real quick, and then I'm gonna do a quick save here, and then I'm going to open the Showreel, okay? Okay, so we've... I'm going to just open the Showreel here. Let's just go through it. Whoops. Let me just pause the game. Let's just go through the Showreel here. So I'm opening up the Showreel. I hope you don't mind that we are doing it live. So let's just jump into Nuke here. And now I'm going to just put Rozemarijin's Showreel here. So let's have a look. Let's make sure this is in full HD. Let's watch it together first, and then we can talk a bit about it, Rose. Wait a minute. Let me just switch off all the other stuff. Just a second. Yes. Okay, cool. I really hope it doesn't get blocked. Really hope so. Just switch on everything, because Twitch has a tendency now to block stuff, and then you can kind of like not see it. So let's just watch this again. Can I download it? Is it downloadable? No, it's not. Okay, because otherwise it would be easier for me to scroll. So Rose, I think you have a great showreel here, and I think I'm gonna just like play it again. Oh, sorry, this is not your showreel. What happened? Why did it went to the next one? Right. Yeah, there you go. I think you have a great showreel here. So first off, it's really nice because you clearly state what you want to do, and this is good because you want to be really simple. You want to say your name, you want to have your email, and basically say, okay, I want to be a surface look development artist, and that is it. So it's very, very good for you to have a very simple intro, no messing around. I see people like a lot of time making really complex reels and really complex intros. You don't need any intros whatsoever. You just need your name and what you're applying to. Now, keep in mind that you might want to consider, not you, Rosie, but you might want to consider, for all of you on the chat here, if you have several companies to send, and those companies have different positions to apply, you might want to consider having several showreels. Imagine you can have a modeling showreel, you can have a lighting showreel, you can have a surface showreel, you can have a look development showreel. It's very important for you to make sure you have the correct showreel for the position you're applying to. So in this case, Rose is applying to surface look development, which is what she wrote here, with her name clearly and email. Now, the first shot looks great. I think it's definitely one of the best models you have here on the shot. Unfortunately, the animation is not very good, but you're not applying for animation, so it doesn't matter. But in terms of materials, it looks good. In terms of modeling, the model is not so well made, but it's more an artistic point of view and creative point of view. But I know you didn't do the modeling. You only did lighting and shading. So in terms of lighting and shading, it looks really nice, I think. I think it would be nice if you could. I don't know if it's possible. I just feel like if you're showing me shading and lighting, I would like to know how this dragon looks like in different lighting conditions. So maybe you want to do a turntable with lighting, so that you can have the dragon as a turntable and you have lights going around the dragon. I think that would be a good idea, because then you can show maybe different types of tonalities of light. And also maybe try to show the dragon at nighttime, maybe try to show the dragon with the moonlight, maybe try to show the dragon with some fire next to it. Try to show different lighting conditions for this dragon. And so that's my opinion for that shot. This shot here looks great. Could you... maybe it's up here again, but what did you exactly do on this shot? Was it lighting and shading, or did you do did you do modeling as well? You don't actually say that. You might want to consider writing on the shot what you actually did. I know you did the helmet, because I can see the wireframe of the helmet, but did you do the modeling as well? Did you do everything? Of course, Black J3015, you can drop it. If you don't mind me doing criticism of your showreel live on Twitch, you can definitely drop it here. But be careful, because I am very harsh on my criticism. This is because I don't have time to fool around. So you guys need to understand that I'm a supervisor. I'm a VFX supervisor for 20 years experience. I have no time to fool around, so I will tell you exactly what you need to hear. So if you are sensitive to that, be careful. I might say things you guys don't want to listen. So yeah, you can of course put the showreel. And so you did the it would probably be good for you to say modeling of the helmet. Now, in terms of modeling of the helmet, looks great. You have the reference there. That's great, guys. This is actually for everyone else here. You guys should always have the reference in the image. It's always very helpful for a supervisor or someone reviewing your showreel to know what your reference was, so that you can see what you were aiming to. That's really important. So your answer, Rosie is saying, I did everything for the helmet, also did the lighting and reshading of the assets. Okay, so you should state that. You should write lighting, you should write modeling for the helmet and lighting and shading for the assets. It will be important for you to tell them that. I like you see, you already have this here. You have the final shot, which is great, and then you have a turntable. Try to have a turntable on the dragon. That would be great if you can have a turntable on the dragon. I like this a lot, and this is very nice. What is this name, by the way? AI. Is that the company that we're? I guess it was the company. Maybe it was. Okay, this is nice as well. You're showing me all the different textures, although it's not as necessary because they're not very, very detailed. I don't really care for the bump because I can hardly see it on YouTube or this is very good, by the way, for all of you listening. Rosie did a really good thing here. She put the logo of the company. That's really important. So I can hardly see the bump. The specular is also very little. I would much prefer to see the monsters breakdown than seeing the helmet. I think the monsters breakdown would be more interesting. Again, please keep I'm doing criticism, but please keep it. It's a positive criticism, okay? I really want to make sure you know that. So Black J3015 is asking, can I send you on LinkedIn? I don't want the password on chat. Okay. But if you want it to be visible on the stream, maybe send me on LinkedIn, and then on the next stream I can play it. Is that okay? Do you want me to do that, Black J? Do you want me on the next stream to play it back and give you some feedback, maybe? Let me know if you think that's cool. So I like your fish a lot. Again, a good turntable. You even have some caustics, which is great. Again, you show the different variations, different maps that you have on all of it. Again, you kind of forgot to say what you've done. So, Rosie, you didn't tell me if you modeled the fish or if you shaded the fish, or what did you do on the fish. I couldn't know. Okay, cool. So Black J, let me know later. So Rosie, about the dragon breakdown, what the different types of lighting? How many seconds would you suggest? I think you can just do a turntable and then maybe show the different maps like this, like the fish maps, but showing it on the dragon. I think maybe just the turntable with lighting. You don't even need to do separate types of lighting. Maybe just a turntable with lighting, and then the different maps of the dragon would be nice. And don't forget to label what you've done. So that means shading, lighting. You don't need to be a big don't need to make a big don't need to make a big title. It can be very small, the title on the corner, but don't forget to do that. So the fish looks great. It's really good work as well. You're definitely starting with your best work, which is great. Now, in terms of your tiger, I think the fur looks great and the shading and texturing looks great, but I don't like the model. I don't know if you did the model. I think the model, from an anatomical point of view of a lion, it's not very well made. It's not as good as it should. And also, I think in terms of fur, it would probably be nice. You know, it's really good work. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm being very nitpicky, okay? I think it's very good work. But I think it would be nice if you have a bit more breakout, you know? This is way too clean. It's almost like this lion went in to a hairdryer, and it's really perfect. There's no breakup. You need to break up a bit more. Maybe perhaps break up the fur so it's a bit more darker or maybe a bit more messy. The same way you have the messy fur on the ears, would be nice to have a bit more messiness on throughout the whole thing, so it breaks up a bit more. But it's definitely very good. Like I'm being very picky, okay? I'm being super picky, but that's what you want to do. But yeah, it's very nice. Animation-wise, it's terrible. I would be honest to you. I would probably remove the animation because the animation is so bad that it really shows how bad the model is. I would much prefer for you to actually do a really nice pose for the model. Maybe do a really nice pose, like an attack pose or maybe a sleeping pose, and then just rotate the camera around the model. Maybe do the camera moving around the model as a freeze frame. I know you didn't do the animation, but it just brings down the whole quality. So if you remove because you see that it's broken. Look at this. This lion has the leg is broken. It's not cool, this thing, you know? So I would much prefer for you to have, just like you did on the first shot, you know, just try to get a nice pose, and then from that pose, maybe do a turntable, or maybe get the camera rotating around. Just try to do a pose. I would much prefer that. You know what I mean? Then this animation just brings everything down. In terms of fur, it looks great. Again, I would probably still break up a bit. Like, you see how perfect it is? You have really nice fur here, and you have nice fur there, but then from the body, it kind of just stays as it is, and so that means there's no breakup on the body itself. It's also a bit too thin as well. Like, I wish that there was a bit more breakup of the hair. The hair would be a bit longer in certain places, because usually lions have a lot of messiness on their hair, you know? So you're saying the reason I have the animation is to show that I can transfer fur to an animation. That's fair enough, but then try to get a better animation, because this animation is not good enough. It's just not very nice. That's just my opinion. It just brings down your shot. This is really nice. I would actually put the monkey before the tiger. Sorry, before the lion. The monkey looks great. The reference looks great. You know, the fur maybe is a bit too long, but it does look great. And because you have all these references and turntables, I would prefer to have the monkey first, before you put the lion. Now, this person looks cool. I think in terms of hair, it looks nice. You probably have a bit, the hairs on his eyes look a bit too big, but it does look nice. And then at the end, this is cool. You actually have your phone number, you have your email, and you have all the applications you use. That's nice. One word of advice, Rosie: do not keep your phone number on the public showreel. I'm just saying that because from a privacy point of view, the showreel that you showcase on the public domain, you probably want to skip the phone number and skip those things. I'm just talking from experience. I get a lot of people calling me for nothing. So I hope it was helpful. The feedback. I hope it helped. I hope you enjoyed that feedback. And it goes for everyone here on the chat. If you guys want me to look at the showreel and give you some advice, feel free to do that. I hope that worked for you. Now let's get back to this thing. We don't have a lot more time. Like maybe we're gonna stop for the moment. Oh shit. I need to like. I lost my. For some reason, it lost to digital again. That's a bit weird. Was really helpful. No problem. Well, don't be harsh, Petre the Great. I mean, I think Rosie's showreel is really good. I just think that could be better. You know, like I definitely think that she has a really good showreel. It just it can always be better. You know, I think that's what you want to keep in mind. So please don't take my comments very harshly. You know. Okay, so I guess I'm a bit stuck now. I have the clock tower stuff. What do I have to do now? Because I've went to every place. Let's see here. I don't have anything else here. I have my pocket, my radio, my gun. There's nothing else here. Is there any place that I forgot to go? Let's see here. So I went to all these places. That's all. So I covered all this floor. It's all covered. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words, Rosie. I always try to be positive on my feedback. But if I see something I don't like, I always say to people as well. So Jean Fontaine is saying, I'll send you comp reel one day, Hugo, when I finish it, if you don't mind having a look. Of course, Sean. I'm always happy to see showreels and give feedback. I've done this so long, you know. The entire 5 years that I was the head of Nuke at the mill, that's what I did. You know, like every day I would get showreels and then I would interview artists and then we would build the department. So I would hire a bunch of people. So yeah, that I'm very used to doing this. Now, where the hell do I have to go? That's the thing. I've done all of this as well. The roof, I can't get in to the roof. Basement, I can't get in. I'll be honest, guys. I'm a bit stuck. Maybe the boiler room is free now. So, let's see here. Classroom, I went there. It's all done. Teachers, reception. Oh, there's a question mark on the reception. Yeah, let's go there because there's probably some kind of thing I didn't do on the reception for it to actually do it. Let's just see here. Is there anything else here? Okay, so more Ronaldo Gordon. This must be a list of teachers. Okay. Cool, so that's 3 teachers, I guess. What else do we have here? So, okay. It's written in blood. Great. 10 o'clock. Alchemy Laboratory. Okay, so this is, for me, this was, these were the clues to get to the clock tower thing. Gold is on an old man's palm. Yeah, that's the, yeah, god damn it, I'm only reading this now. These were the and I'm assuming this is, yeah, 5 o'clock darkens, then bring the choking heat. Flames render the silence, awakening the hungry beast. Open time door to the beacon prey. Okay, so this would be the 5 o'clock one. So I guess I have to get some flames to render the silence. I don't have any way of making flames, so I need to kind of check where to get that. And then in here on this side, what do I have here? Nothing else. Okay. So I guess I need to like go back a bit. Let's see here. So reception is done. Clock tower was done. Okay. I went to all the rooms. Let's see here. Second floor. Statue of Hand was covered. Done. Okay, locker room. Yeah, the locker room. There wasn't anything there. Maybe I'll go back to the locker room and see if I can get... Oh. Did they actually show the new Mac Pro? Really? Did they actually do that? Can't believe it. Is there a new Mac Pro finally? Will there be a new Mac Pro finally? Finally, I can buy a new computer. I've been trying to buy a new computer for ages, and they never. Let's see here. Let's put it on the screen here. I'm a bit stuck. Big. Okay, so I'm assuming it's going right now. Okay. Are they showing the new Mac Pro? I'm gonna just take away the sound.
Yes. Thank you all for coming.
Oh,
and
God
sharing
damn it.
time with us. Have a great week.
Oh, great.
Thank you.
So they didn't show anything. That's great. They showed, but I was too late. Let's just have a look here. What do you have here? Ah, cool. Oh, finally. Look at that. Finally, it's a computer. It's a proper computer. That's awesome. It looks almost like the old one. Ah, shit, man. Finally. Finally. Finally, it's going to be a computer. Look at that. You can actually have some graphic cards on it. That's fucking awesome. Oh, man, I'm finally going to buy a new computer. 28 cores. That's awesome. Cool. Well, very happy with that. Oh, that's not good. A Radeon Pro. No, I don't want any Radeon Pros, for fuck's sake. I want an Nvidia card. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to me? God damn it. Okay. Well, at least I'm happy. Oh, yeah, look at that. 6K monitor with 20 million pixels. Jesus Christ. Oh, well, I'll watch this later. Well. Well, anyway. So Alex was saying, I was just reading your old course material. With the pre-recorded lessons be available after the 15 weeks. So no, it doesn't work that way. The way it works is you get one class per week. Okay, so during 15 weeks, you get one topic per week. Each topic might have 5, 6, 7, or 10 classes. It depends really on the topic at hand. So that's how it works, Alox. Like basically for the duration of 15 weeks, because this is a course. This is not a tutorial. It's an actual course where we do mentoring. Okay, so basically, it's during the 15 weeks. Every week we would drop a bunch of classes, and then once we do the bunch of classes, then you can ask questions on the forums. You can ask questions, and that's how it works. Cool. Well. That's how it works. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream anyway, since I'm a bit lost anyway. It's already 8:20. We've been running for 2 hours and a half. I never really want to keep these streams bigger than like 2 hours. I've said that many times because it's just too much. I get too tired. Now I have no idea why the music is so strong here now. I mean, is there anything else here that maybe I missed? Just see if I missed anything here. Anything at all that I missed? Probably missed a bunch of stuff. I've been talking and yapping and yapping and yapping, so probably missed a bunch of stuff. Why is the music so loud on this specific section? Must be something to do with this thing, I guess. So Alex, to answer, okay, so the work has to be done in that week. The video won't be available after that week. No. You're misunderstanding. No. The course will be during. Let me just leave this place because it's too loud. So you misunderstanding the course. During 15 weeks, you do the course, right? And so you get classes every week, and then the classes stay there for a year for you to watch them. So you have like a year to. You can download them on the application. You can watch them on the streaming app. Like there's a lot of ways of you watching the class. So don't worry. They're not gonna disappear. So they're not gonna disappear at all. So you're just missing understanding. So, okay. I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream anyway. So just to wrap up, don't forget that we do this every Monday. So next Monday, we will do one as well. Well, I'll play a video game while I answer questions. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to go to LA in a week and a half from now. So I'm not really sure entirely what time I'm going to do the streams when I'm on LA. Because when I'm on LA, it's a bit difficult for me to do the streams at this hour. So I might have to do the streams earlier, or I might have to do the streams later. Not entirely sure yet. Once I get to LA and I establish a place to do the streams, I will let all of you know. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna leave you guys to it. Basically, we've reached a lot today. So this was a wonderful stream. We got really far in Silent Hill, which was great. I think we have probably maybe just over a third of the game. So I think maybe 2 more streams and we're done with the game, which is great. And then we can move on to the next game. But don't forget, like I said, because I'm going to be in LA throughout the whole entire month of mid-June to July, not entirely sure what the time will be. Maybe I have to do it earlier, or maybe I have to do it later. It will definitely still. I will try to keep it on the same days, but because I'm on set, it might have to be a different time. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, like always, if you guys want to subscribe to my channel, please do. Like if you actually have Amazon Prime, don't forget that it's completely free for you to use Amazon Prime, and I get money from Amazon and you don't pay any money. So if you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead, and the perk would be that you can play my old streams as well, and you support my channel so that I can continue doing these things. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget that this week on Thursday, we're going to continue the stream. But on Thursday will be a different stream. We're not going to do Q&A. On Thursday, we're going to continue the BBC God Only Knows compositing. It's a composite shot that we're doing with a lot of keying, with a lot of tracking, a lot of 3D tracking, a lot of typical cleanup jobs. So very interesting stream. It's a production shot from a production I did at the mill. So don't forget to come in on Thursday. We're gonna be working. I'm gonna show you the shot that we're working on. So this Thursday we're gonna be working on this here. So I'm gonna just show you really quickly here, so you guys can see what I mean. Here you go. Where is it? Here we go. So it's this shot here. I'm gonna just share it my screen here. So we're basically compositing this production shot from the mill. So we're compositing this shot here. So this is a shot where Pharrell Williams is standing there. He was filmed on a green screen, and then we comped the curtains as well, because this was a green screen as well. So we had to comp the curtains and comp Pharrell and comp the chandeliers. So it's a very typical 2D comp. We're gonna be working on this shot on Thursday. Every Thursday we do workshops. So don't forget to come by. Thank you so much for the company. Really enjoy this. It's been so cool to do this stream. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. And as always, I'm going to leave you guys with a wonderful song, as I usually do. So I'm going to leave you with the amazing music from the beginning. So thank you so much. And of course, please join me thanking Lenny CG. She was fundamental for me to be not lost today. So Lenny CG helped me a lot today with the questions. So thank you so much for that. So I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Hope to see you all on Thursday. Make sure you join at 6 o'clock UK time. So have a nice day, and I'll see you in a couple of days. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.